Have I told the story about the time I got a plane back from Mexico before? That's a really funny story. So, I went to Mexico a few years ago. It was on this flight home, so I was sat in economy in the aisle, like, chunk of seats next to this random kid I had never met. And on this flight back, there were 2 meals you could choose from. There was chili chicken, which I had, which I really liked. And there was the mushroom risotto. This kid next to me had the mushroom risotto. And I was sat there and I was really enjoying my flight. You know, I was listening to music. And then at some point, this kid, he falls asleep. And he falls asleep like this. His mouth was wide open. And pure, unfettered, creamy umami leftovers were just being breathed straight into my face. He was staring at me with his eyes closed. His eyes were closed, but his mouth was just like practically wrapping around my nose. He was so close, and it was just pure mushroom scent. Well, it wasn't good at all. It's like, imagine summoning umami straight from someone's stomach and projecting it all over me. So I was disgusted. And suddenly, I had an idea. My dinner, the chili chicken, for whatever reason, there was a single cherry tomato. And so after about maybe 45 minutes of just getting breathed on and psyching myself up to do this, I was like, he's never gonna know. So I got the little tomato. And like a fucking mortar strike from heaven, I just... and I threw it straight into his mouth. I must have summoned the accuracy of the gods at that very moment. I must have been blessed by Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, because that shit did not touch the sides. That shit went straight between his lips, and he was just and he immediately woke up, but he was so tired, he did not look at me. And all I did was I said, "Oh my God, are you all right?" And then he was like, "Oh," and I think he just instantly swallowed the tomato. And he was fine after that, but all I did was I managed to save myself. So don't try that at home. There's an alternate universe where that man died, but it was a very small tomato, so it was fine. But it was not this one, so I'm fine. I almost killed a man. No, he was gonna be fine. Listen, there were about 8, 9, 10 hours left of that flight, and this man was showing no signs of waking up. I didn't want any more of that mushroom breath around my nose, so I figured if he died, it would be worth it for my own comfort. Who's committed murder?
これってもしかして僕たちは夢の中で入れ替わってる?